Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, April 11th, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I accept and expand deeper into the fullness of me. And today's astro overall chill this week ahead has a major conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune. We reach the full conjunction on Tuesday. We're basically in the essence, the energy of it now. The essence and energy is going to continue on, but this is the peak of it. So this is the peak of some major magic and miracles. Jupiter is expansion. Jupiter is expansion of anything. So Jupiter can expand the wonderful goodness of Neptune. Jupiter can also expand the challenges of Neptune. The goodness of Neptune is our intuition, our spiritual connection, divinity, recognizing divinity within ourselves, recognizing divinity in the all. However, we have to be careful where our mind spins it in a way of illusion, or where others can spin this energy in the way of illusion. Being grounded, listening to your intuition specifically, recognizing your truth, listening to your guides specifically is so important in this energy, to be grounded in you. It's so easy to give that power away. Now, what's interesting? So I told you the nodes kind of oscillate around eclipse energies. The nodes have moved back to 22 degrees, and that means they are connecting to Saturn. They are in a square with Saturn, and this square is exact today. And this feels like instant karma. So if you fall into that south node, that south node Scorpio energy, you're going to feel it. Watch the places where fear comes up. Watch the places where you give your power away. Watch where you feel the lack energy and see where you can lean into your values rather than fear. See where you can lean into nature, being held by Mother Earth, Mama Gaia energy. See where you can lean towards pleasure and abundance. And abundance, again, is something that's everywhere for us. Abundance isn't just like, here, have $1 million. Abundance is like, look at this beautiful rose. Look at spring. Look at spring appearing everywhere. This is the spirit of abundance, especially when it comes to Taurus. And leaning into that can help move you through any pockets of karmic fear that come up. That's definitely possible through this week, especially as Jupiter and Neptune again are connecting. To me, this energy feels so much like moving through so many of our layers of incarnations that have so many lessons for us, but also can have challenge, right? We've all been through many challenges in this lifetime and so many others. So really strong energy for us. Mars this week, finishing up in Aquarius, moving into Pisces. So we'll have Venus and Mars in Pisces, as well as Jupiter and Neptune. Really strong Pisces energy. Mars and Pisces, I think, is a delightful transit. But it can be a little slower and sleepier. And again, we have to be very aware of being actionable in regards to escapism. There's always times where we need to tune out, and that's okay. But watch being active in escapism. Before Mars shifts into Pisces, Mars will be at 29 Aquarius, and that energy can be very wiry, especially because it will be when we are building to a full moon. We have a full moon coming in, full moon in Libra on Saturday. And hand in hand with that full moon is going to be a connection between Mercury and Uranus, a conjunction with Mercury and Uranus. I wish you could see what I just witnessed. I have crazy catties in the background. Luce just jumped up and grabbed, I think she's chasing a bug, grabbed the doorknob of the door and like hung there for a minute like, oh, I can do this. Anyway, speaking of wiry, right? So on Sunday, Mercury and Uranus coming together in the sign of Taurus. We'll dig into that. But between the full moon, Mars shifting sides, I'm really feeling that tired and wired energy. The grounding is going to be important. So let's look at today overall. I mentioned the Saturn square the nodes. Saturn is where we are called to responsibility, and there's a vibrational responsibility with Saturn in Aquarius. So you're gonna feel the vibes of which way you're leaning, you know? And if you're feeling the fear, if you're feeling the spiral, asking yourself, what is the wounding I need to address here? That can be very healing in that energy rather than getting sucked into that spiral. Feeling the pleasure, the feeling of being secure, even if you don't know where you're going from this, but the feeling of being secure, that's more of that Taurus energy. So pay attention to your vibrational state, you know, as you find your balance in and through this energy. And again, keep tuning into the magic, because I swear to you, there's so much magic. Even if it's not just like wave my wand and it appears. So much good in this connection. Besides this, we have the moon in Leo, activating our inner child, hopefully activating our heart, activating fun energy, can also activate the ego. And definitely an interesting connection today between the sun and the moon and Vesta. Or not Vesta, sorry, Pallas. Right now I'm recording this at Mercury. You have to dig into Mercury. Mercury 29 Aries. Oh my goodness, it's been playing with my words all day long. Sun and Pallas energy conjunct today. Trining the moon. Pallas can represent patriarchal energy. Now, patriarchal energy in Aries can definitely be the warmonger. Warring to take over states and places and people and countries. All of that can be very Pallas and Aries kind of energy. It can also be the place where we have sold ourselves short when it comes to who we are, where we've had to give ourselves away. And so part of our work today, as the moon connects into this, is noticing where our ego is still clinging to the me, to the we, to the I, to the you, that has been your identity. Since you were little, inner child work, right, with the moon in Leo, that energy where you're being called to drop that identity, to drop the mask, to drop the veil, to drop whatever that energy is. So there's awareness there. But the ego may be holding on. Oh, you need this. Oh, you can't survive in the world without this. Be aware of that. As the sun and Pallas move to 22 degrees, there may be triggers coming up around your personal identity according to your place in the world. So be very aware of that, but realize that this was seated, inner child, this was seated probably in other lifetimes too, but where this was seated in your inner child and where you can free your child from those chains. I also love, this is coming up in two places, we have the moon and Saturn in opposition today. So building a square, not even a T-square, building a square with the nodes between the moon and Saturn and the north and the south node. So again, if you're leaning into fear around your identity, where can you lean into the feeling of abundance and prosperity and trust? Where can you ground, just like you would ground into Mother Earth, where can you ground into yourself in this? Saturn reminds us, Saturn and Aquarius reminds us, besides the lesson around responsibility, you came to be you, and who you are is so important. Who you are is needed on this planet at this time. So keep that in mind in and through this. But that Saturn energy, you may feel the shoulds, you may feel the societal energy, you may feel, what is the word? The conditioning to use the Osho card. Now, I do have the rebirth card in and through this energy. So there's definitely a call towards rebirthing yourself, your innocence, your truth in and through this energy. And part of that is connecting to your inner voice, connecting to this Jupiter-Neptune energy. Change, Wheel of Fortune card upright. Beautiful things coming in as you do this work, as you find this alignment, as you hold space for the dream. What is your dream? What is your vision? What are you wanting to align with? That being said, I have the laziness card. So some of this work may be about sitting back, relaxing, and trusting the process rather than thinking that I have to bang the head, hit the nail on the head, bang the hammer, use the drill. There's some trust involved in this. The final card, I got a few coming out today. The Sorrow card in reverse. And this isn't saying don't be sad. Hopefully you got a lot of the processing out this weekend. It was intense. I felt it. But don't hang on to the sorrows that are coming up. Process them, feel them, work through them, and then move along. All right, so that is it for today. You can book a reading. Eclipse readings going on right now. Our first eclipse is coming in just under 3 weeks. April 30th is our first one. Email me for that or any other reading. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.